Your body matters. Get physiotherapy care for the elderly and an empowering health talk from Premier Physiotherapy, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Day 4, Saturday, January 17th. We wrap it up with general medical care services provided by Zoe Specialist Hospital, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Your favorite presenters will be on ground to make it more exciting. 4 days, one radio family, one mission, healthy people, healthy community. Wells Radio, 89.3 FM, 2 years strong, still intentional, still for the family.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
studio time check says it's 36 minutes past 6 a.m. Today's the 8th day in January of 2026. Good morning to you, dear listener. Thank you for tuning to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State. We're broadcasting live from the Wells Broadcasting House along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole State, Ibadan. I am Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola, and I welcome you this morning. Thank you for tuning in. It's time for Perspectives Unlimited, where we take a look at headlines and stories making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria. We take a look at these headlines. We talk about them. We go beyond the news to help you make sense of the many, many stories that are making the rounds. All right. This morning will not be different because we'll, as usual, be taking you across the dailies and we'll be discussing them with our analysts. We'll start with the dailies, but quickly before the dailies, kindly follow us on all our social media platforms. You can find us on Facebook at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. We're currently live. You can also find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Wells Radio 893. Now, if for some reason you're traveling out of Ibadan or for some reason you can't hear us with your radio set wherever it is you are, I'll say if you cannot hear us or if our signal is weak, please kindly reach out to us by sending us a WhatsApp message so that we can, help work on it from our end, because our goal is to get the whole of your state listening and even beyond if possible. So please send us a WhatsApp message. If the signal is weak on your end, send a WhatsApp message to 0915 4999 893. I'll take the number again, 0915 4999 893. Just send us a WhatsApp message. Shoot a WhatsApp message to that number. Also, you can listen via our website, www.wellsradio893.com. www.wellsradio893.com. You can also find us on a host of radio directories like onlineradiobox.net, radiogarden.com as well. And that being said and done, I welcome you this morning to Perspectives Unlimited. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola. Let's begin the day. The front page of the Punch newspaper has the lead headline, Tax Law, 5 trillion naira VAT windfall for states as new formula begins. The Rada says new tax law tilts VAT revenue towards states, local governments as federal government's share drops to 922 billion naira. That story is on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. More headlines on the Punch newspaper. How I cut Nigeria Labour Union links with KGB, CIA, says Obasanjo. That's on page 19. Why Abure Labour Party faction is not recognized, says INEC. That story is on page 7. Court orders forfeiture of 57 properties linked to Malami and Sons. That story is on page 39. U.S. slams $15,000 visa bond on Nigerians and others. You find that on page 38. More headlines. Togo, Niger, Benin owe Nigeria 25 billion naira for electricity. That's from the NERC, and that's on page 29. 2027, obedience back Obi as Dati eyes Labour Party ticket. That's on page 38. And in Oyo State, Makinde fumes as bandits kill 5 Oyo forest guards. That's on page 39 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Taking a look at more headlines on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, the lead headline says 2027 PDP faction to hold talks with Obi and Atiku. ADC taunts says wooing Atiku Obi to where? Adds that it's ready to work with like minds to rescue Nigeria. ADC, not PDP, is a way forward, says Atiku's camp. PDP is in crisis, can't woo Obi, says Obedient Movement. That's on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. More headlines. Money laundering charge, ex-AGF Malami's son, wife, secure 1.5 billion naira bill. That's on page 9. EFC raises alarm over alleged campaigns of calumny against it. That's on page 6. Bandits, herdsmen kill 9 farmers, National Park operatives in Oyo, Benue. The writer says police rescue 76 children from kidnappers in Kaduna, arrest 3 suspects. That's on page 6. Super Eagles still in unpaid bonuses crisis again. Sean training ahead of quarterfinals. That story is on page 32 of the Vanguard newspaper. More headlines. Nigeria records 12 trillion naira trade surplus, 21% non-oil export growth. That's from the federal government. That's on page 19. More headlines. Heavy taxes, low wages, rising debt, threat to nation stability. That's from the NLC, and that story is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Taking more headlines from the Daily Trust newspaper. The headlines are pretty similar. APC pushes back against influence politics, warns Wike and governors. That's on page 11. 38 die in electricity-related incidents in 3 months. You find that story on page 20 of the Daily Trust newspaper. More headlines. Dangote withdraws petition against ex-NMDPRA boss from ICPC. That's on page 5. More headlines. Why Obi may not get ADC presidential ticket, says Dati Baba Ahmed. Days after nurse's murder, lawyer killed in Abuja. That story is on page 16 of the Daily Trust newspaper. The Daily Trust also lists the assets, the 57 assets of former AGF, Abubakar Malami, that have been ordered for forfeiture. All right. Those are some of the headlines we're going to be taking a look at on Perspectives Unlimited this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll start with some of the dailies. We'll start with some of the headlines, rather. But at this point, I'd like to bring our analyst in on the show, Mr. Lali Konsani. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, madam.
How do you do?
How do you do?
All right. You're welcome this morning. There's a couple of stories, to talk about. And I'd like us to start from this one that, it's not the very likely story, but I feel like it should be touched on. On the Punch newspaper, the lead headline says Togo, Niger, Benin owe Nigeria 25 billion naira for electricity. That's from the NERC. Now, it said that the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has said that these countries are owing Nigeria $17.8 million, at current rate exchange, which is about 25 billion naira. For electricity supplied under bilateral arrangements. The NERC disclosed that the 3 international customers were invoiced a total of $18.69 million by the market operator for electricity supplied during the period, but they remitted only $7.125 million, leaving an outstanding balance of $11.56 million. Leaving, all this English grammar. When you have something and then you decide to sell, it's probably because you have an excess. But in Nigeria's case, take an example from December. We've had erratic power supply. We're told that some of the gas stations were faulty, and so they couldn't, put out gas. Yeah, so, and then we didn't have power. And it has not stabilized, even in January. Even Band-Aid customers are complaining. In a country, in Nigeria right now, we're having to put our electricity users in bands because it would seem that the NERCs in conjunction with the GENCOs cannot generate enough, and in conjunction with the TCN too, cannot get enough power supply for everybody. And so we're having to discriminate against Nigerians. And now the people that we're selling this power to are also not paying. Does this make logical sense? And what's the way forward?
Thank you very much, madam. I need to correct some notions.
Just go ahead.
The truth of the matter is that Nigeria cannot but send electricity to those 3 countries.
We don't have a choice?
We do not have a choice.
Okay.
And the reason is that we are talking about power generated using Kanji hydro dam here.
Yes.
The source of the river Niger is in Guinea, Futajalon in Guinea to be precise. The body of water passed a number of countries before getting to Nigeria. And the agreement Nigeria had with those countries is that don't dam this water in your country. Let us dam it. When we dam it, we will generate electricity from it. And in return, we will send a certain bulk, percentage of whatever we generate from that body of water to you. That is why we cannot but.
Which is that's the bilateral agreement,
Yes.
which makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
However,
because should these people dam the water there, nothing is going to come to Nigeria. And it's going to affect not just electricity, it's also going to affect agriculture very, very adversely.
Which is very cool and makes a lot of sense. However, now in enforcing and ensuring that these things are not taken for granted.
The truth of the matter is that Nigeria needs to speak out. Guys, we had an agreement to supply you power, but not free of charge. It is our duty to supply you power. It's also your duty to pay up accordingly. Should you not pay up accordingly, then we may take steps that you may not like. Should Nigeria say that, trust me, they are going to reach out and say, okay, even if we do not have everything, this is what we have right now. And in all seriousness, I cannot understand why we are not doing that. But, the truth of the matter is that a lot of people have said, oh, Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. Your citizens are not enjoying power, yet you keep exporting power to other countries. That is why I said
we cannot but
export power. But, that's our own side of the bargain. Their own side of the bargain is to pay up. And should they fail in doing that, then we can take action that make them sit up and sit tight.
All right. Now, yesterday, the NLC, was it yesterday? No, the day before. It's in the news now that the NLC president, Joe Ajero, warned against the combination of heavy taxation, low wages.
He said that day before yesterday, and still repeated it yesterday.
And rising national debt. He said it's posing a serious threat to Nigeria's economic and democratic stability. He then asked the federal government to urgently rethink the new tax laws and re-engage organized labor. He said this the day before yesterday at the book launch and 85th birthday celebration of the founding president of the NLC.
I think that was yesterday.
Hassan Sumano, where he accused the government of excluding workers and the poor from critical policy decisions that directly affected their lives. Now, at a point, the government did engage the NLC. And what came out of it was the new minimum wage, which unfortunately has now proven to
be toxic to everybody.
Yes, let's put it that way. Because, even though you're getting the new minimum wage, things are now more expensive. Now, if you're earning the minimum wage, you're going to be paying tax because you don't fall under the bracket where, if you're earning the minimum wage is
70.
Yes, and
they said the minimum, the threshold for you to start paying tax is 800.
Yes.
70 times 10, that is 700. The remaining 2 months, that is 840.
That's what I'm
nobody's
saying.
exempt.
That's what I'm saying. That if you're earning the minimum wage, you have to be earning at least 66,000 plus.
Below.
Yes, and below before you can be say, I'm earning 800,000 naira. And aside that, it's pretty so difficult because this new minimum wage, unlike it seems that the value for the money has gone so low that you cannot depend on it anymore.
I think it has disappeared. Not that it has gone so low, it has disappeared.
Maybe it hasn't disappeared since we're still able to buy and sell. And we're not. In some countries,
such that you're buying granite with 2,000 naira.
In some countries, you have to stack millions and billions just to buy a cup of coffee, and we thank God that we're not there yet, and we pray that we'll never get there, and we hope that the government will back this up with action.
Is it about prayer?
To ensure that we won't get there. Now, let's take a look at the role of the NLC in all of this. Do you think that the NLC has played their parts as they should? And if not, why? And also, what do you think they should actually be doing?
The truth of the matter is that the NLC know within themselves that they have failed Nigeria and Nigerians, and that is the truth. My personal opinion, I do not believe that the NLC cares about Nigeria and Nigerians, Rather, it's about having a handshake with those in authority. And I hope you understand what I mean by a handshake. When this administration wanted to start with the idea of band A, band B, band whatever, the NLC threatened fire and brimstone, saying never will it happen. Guess what? Till today, nobody has heard anything again. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they had a meeting with the NERC then, and after the meeting, they just went silent. Apparently, they had a very, very strong handshake. It's the same thing for NANS, National Association of Nigerian Students. They said never in Nigeria will the new tax act hold effect, that it will not allow its implementation. Guess what? They had a meeting with the NRS, the DSS, and all of that. And guess what they did afterwards? They actually organized a press conference where they addressed Nigerians, telling Nigerians about the beauties of the new tax act. The same thing that you said, oh, never will it hold. It's going to kill all of Nigerians, all of that. I think it's the same thing for the NRC, going by what they did with the electricity issue. I mean, I am saying and I'm saying it again, and I'm saying it again. All they want to have is to have a very strong handshake with those in authorities.
They did meet with the president.
That was
about last week or 2 weeks ago.
NLC?
Yes,
Okay.
and then they went on strike. Well, not strike. They did a one-day protest in Abuja, in Lagos. Yes, they did a one-day protest in Abuja, in Lagos,
Okay.
and I think those are like the major places where they had the protest.
Okay.
But we didn't exactly hear anything.
I can remember. I now can remember what you're talking about. They said they were going to protest hardship and all of that.
Yeah.
I mean, where are we today?
So what exactly do you think the NLC should be doing?
The truth of the matter is that I'm not.
And how can Nigerians support the NLC to action?
It's not Nigerians spurring the NLC to action. It's the NLC doing the right thing. The truth of the matter is that it's only the NLC, labor unions, that have the right to say, okay, despite the fact that we are employed, we are not resuming our duties today. We are not reporting for duty today. And that is backed by the law. Look at what the resident doctors are saying. If I'm not mistaken, it's almost a week now that they have said that come January 12, they are going on strike. And the federal government has not said anything.
And we hope that we don't see
when it's 11th of January. In fact, the 11th hour. What a match. 11th of January, 11th hour, they will now say come for a meeting. Another part. Well, I have a little bit more confidence in the doctors than the NLC as a whole. The doctors have been doing what is right to demand for what is due. But for the NLC, like I have said, I mean, many instances here, when they wanted to meet the president over minimum wage, they said 6.15. The least they could go then was 250.
And I remember.
And when they got 70,000, they started shouting 3 boosters for the president.
I remember that many Nigerians did say then. Would you say that what people said then, rings true now? Many did say that it wasn't about the wage increase. Instead, it was about the value for the money.
The truth of the matter is that when you're talking about the value of the money, the value of the currency, that doesn't have much to do with the NRC, because the policies that actually wrecked the Naira were not carried out by the NRC.
That's all. The people were saying that the NLC should have instead, protested against the policies.
That means
that
you would have to say no electricity increase, no increase in the price of electricity, no increase in the price of petrol,
no removal of fuel subsidy,
no floating of the Naira. If they had done that, I mean, that would sound political. That's actually the truth, because these are hardcore policies of this administration.
So now can we then continue to criticize them?
No, you are not getting my point, madam.
You're saying that if they had fought against these policies, yes, it would have seemed political.
They could have actually fought against those policies one after the other. I didn't mean that they fought back the moment they said subsidy is gone, and it was still about subsidy is gone on one topic. I mean, nobody is going to read meanings to it. But if you now wake up one morning to say, okay, all of these policies, that is why we are saying that I no longer have faith in them. They had the time and the opportunity to fight. They didn't fight then. To fight now is going to come up with a lot of, political. I'm not a fan of this administration, but I'm just saying what Nigerians are going to say at a particular point in time. If you want to talk about this administration, you talk about fuel subsidy removal, you talk about increase in electricity tariff, you talk about floating of the naira. See, when they said they were going to float the naira, the NLC could have risen up to say, let's hold it where it is. But now that things have totally degenerated, they cannot now wake up one morning and say they want to fight everything, especially when it's 2027. I know who we are dealing with. The people in government right now are going to make a mess of them. They are going to say they have been speaking to politicians.
What's the way
The truth of the matter
here?
is that, as it is right now, I don't believe in the NLC. I would rather think within my own mind and reach my own conclusion. But thinking that the NLC is going to fight for me, no. That's
What's the way forward for the NLC?
The NLC has actually shot itself in the head.
Is it new leadership or what?
If there is a new leadership and the leadership comes on board with people who are actually very, very deft, they know how to place things, they know what to say at the right time. Yes, they can begin to unroll the negative things this administration has actually unleashed on the people. But it was
how do they start?
No, what's the
We
name of
have
the
new
Ajaero?
leadership.
It was Ajaero who was there when dollar flew from 471 to 1,500. He didn't say a word. It was Ajaero who was there when electricity moved from 68 naira to 225 naira. He didn't say a word. It was this guy who. Now, what actually is pouring you to rise up to this to say you want to come and fight? Like you said, I agree with that. If members of the NLC actually want the people to take them seriously, you need to have a new leadership that is going to be prepared to fight hard for what is right. And in doing that, I wouldn't advise them to come up with everything at once because it may sound political. Rather, you pick these things one after the other.
Thank you so much.
If you
for sake of clarity, can we list out these policies again?
Number one, fuel subsidy removal. No government in the world does without subsidy. You must pay subsidy. That is number one. Number two, floating of the naira. Number three, the price of electricity. These are the things that are actually nailing on the necks of Nigerians.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Sonny. We have more headlines that we're going to take. However, at 6:15, I will take a short break to have some advertisement, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Just 2 nights ago, some gunmen in Oyo State, attacked the park service.
Yes,
and some people lost their lives. And the governor, Governor Shea Makinde, has spoken out, has responded yesterday. We're going to also take a look at that and explore that. But in the meantime, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue the discussions, and you, our dear listener, will also have the opportunity to be a part of the conversation. So don't go anywhere. It's Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Your preferred wholesome radio.
Good news! You asked for it and we heard you. From the 1st of January 2026, Wells Radio 89.3 FM begins a new broadcast schedule. We will now be on air every day from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., bringing you more time with programs that truly matter. This adjustment is to ensure you enjoy even more wholesome, quality, and family-oriented content, carefully designed to inform, inspire, and uplift every member of the family. Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
This January, Wells Radio 89.3 FM celebrates 2 years of purposeful broadcasting, 2 years of serving families, amplifying voices, and touching lives across Oyo State. And because we believe radio should give back, we're marking our 2nd anniversary with a week of health and care for you. Day 1, Wednesday, January 14th. Join us for a health walk as we move together from Wells Radio 89.3 FM to High Court Ring Road. Let's walk for wellness. Let's walk for life. Day 2, Thursday, January 15th. See clearly. Enjoy free eye care services courtesy of Maka Specialist Eye Hospital, Elebu Junction, Akala Expressway, Ibadan. Day 3, Friday, January 16th. Your body matters. Get physiotherapy care for the elderly and an empowering health talk from Premier Physiotherapy, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Day 4, Saturday, January 17th. We wrap it up with general medical care services provided by Zoe Specialist Hospital, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Your favorite presenters will be on ground to make it more exciting. 4 days, one radio family, one mission, healthy people, healthy community. Wells Radio 89.3 FM. 2 years strong, still intentional, still for the family.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Christ Ambassadors International College is a private, co-educational Christian day and boarding school located at Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. We offer a blend of Nigerian and British curricula designed to nurture global leaders with godly values. With world-class facilities, exciting co-curricular programs, exceptional pastoral care, and outstanding academic results, we ensure your child's dream becomes a reality. Our entrance examination for 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 14th February 2026 at 8 a.m. For inquiries, please call 0704 530 8414 or 0814 177 2806 or visit www.christambassadorscollege.com. Christ Ambassadors International College, nurturing global and godly scholars.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it, with delivery to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke nights with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafi Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, you're welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, your #1 family radio in the whole of Oyo State. We're taking the headlines and stories, making the rounds across the different dailies in Nigeria, and we're discussing it together with our analyst, Mr. Loli Konsani. Thank you so much for staying tuned. The phone lines are open. I can see that some of us have dropped comments on our Facebook fan page. This is to let you know as well that you can drop your comments on our Facebook fan page at Wells Radio 893 FM fan page, where we're currently live. And you can call the studios to be a part of the conversation this morning. I'll read out the phone lines: 0916 893 1000, 0915 333 4893, and 0911 3333. 893. I'll take the numbers again: 0916 893 1000, 0915 333 4893, and 0911 3333 893. Mr. Sani, before the break, we're talking about what happened in Oyo State. Now, the governor has responded, and I'll read this direct from his social media platforms. He said, and this was posted yesterday, 12 hours ago. And he said, earlier today there was a criminal attack by bandits at the National Park office, Oloka village, which resulted in the death of 5 National Park Service Forest Guard officers. This is a devastating loss of the lives of personnel in the course of carrying out their lawful duties. May their soul rest in peace. Preliminary investigations by the security agencies indicate that this was a cross-border attack carried out by bandits. The security agencies are already working together to address this incident and seek the support of residents in the area to cooperate with them in their intelligence gathering. Let me appeal to residents of Oyo State, especially those in Orire local government area and other local government areas along our borders, to remain calm as the security agencies have restored normalcy and deployed more personnel to the area. Our administration will leave no stone unturned to respond decisively to prevent a recurrence of such attacks. I'll take you back quickly to sometime in July of 2025, when the Oyo State Executive Council approved the immediate procurement of 2 surveillance aircraft valued at around 7.7 billion naira to bolster security across the state. The Commissioner for Information, Prince Dr. Iliade, put out the statement to say that 2 DA-42 MNG model aircrafts for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance operations, and equipped with sophisticated surveillance gadgets capable of identifying targets from both high and low altitudes, already procured. I want to use his words. He said the 2 aircraft already procured, and I believe that procurement means that you've already bought it. You bought and paid, cost 7.763 billion naira. Now, in November of 2025, Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde again unveiled plans to introduce aerial surveillance into the state's security system, and he announced the imminent arrival of a surveillance aircraft to bolster law enforcement operations across the state. He did say that to get it before the end of December 2025. Now, question A would be, where are the aircrafts? Are they en route? Are they arriving today or tomorrow? And what are the major security lapses? We have seen a clear trend with these bandits, in quotes, migrating. And is it that, so the question is, why were we caught unawares? Is it that our intelligence is not, working well, or we just don't have the right apparatus?
Thank you very much, madam. What is on the ground is actually very, very painful, but it's not by any standard surprising to me. It's what I have always said in this studio, that if we do not nip this thing in the bud, it is going to cut across all of Nigeria, starting with the southwest. Okay.
Let's take this call, please. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is from Oduekun-Ayoola.
Your name is what, sir?
My name is Bolanle from Oduekun-Ayoola, Ibadan.
Mr. Balogun, all right, go ahead, please.
I greet all of you.
Thank you so much.
Is that food is always bitter. If we want our country to progress, let us follow our pledge. That's our pledge. If we follow it, really, our country will be progress. That is my own view. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much, sir.
If you follow the trajectory, like from Sokoto to Zamfara to Kebbi to Niger to Kogi, Kwara, anybody with half a brain cell will know that the next 2 states to suffer this thing will be Oyo and Osun. And of course, by extension, Ekiti and Ondo. So I'm not surprised that this thing is here now. I mean, it's it's that ugly guest that you knew would come, but wouldn't want to welcome. And now that guest has arrived. If I'm not mistaken, on the night of Tuesday. Okay.
Let's take this call, please. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, madam. Your name and where you're welcome.
Concerning the attack on Oyo Park, it's so sad. So, and it is good to know that the Oyo State Governor has response immediately, that it did not leave any stone unturned. So I just want them to strengthen the security architecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Mr. Sani, I was going to say that we know that security in Nigeria is more federal than the state and
I intend to touch everywhere. And what some of us knew was going to happen, but, were praying against, actually happened on that night. From what I understand, 12 people walked into the forest and they opened fire on everybody they could see. Some were lucky to escape, but 5 were not so lucky to escape. And within minutes, they disappeared. I was made to understand that they actually combed the forest in that middle of the night, and not one person was seen out of the 12 that attacked the place. I sincerely do not find logic in what the state government is saying, or should I say was and is still saying, that you want to buy visible aircraft, 2 of them, fly around and think you are going to be able to catch these people. It is never going to work that way. If you want to catch people who are doing bad things, they must not know that you are watching them. These are fairly large aircraft that, the kind of sound they make will even make you know that something is flying over your head. If you want to do aerial surveillance, then we must be talking about unmanned aerial vehicles, drones, that nobody will know that these things are. Some of them are even electric. They won't even make any humming sound whatsoever. But if it's about vroom all over the sky.
Let's take this call, please. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning to you, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Sulaiman Sharif calling from Manara.
You're welcome, Mr. Sheriff.
Sulaiman Sharif calling from Manara.
You're welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Regarding to what really happened in Uriri local government, I think it's a sad development. I think Mr. President is the Grand Commander of Armed Forces. From what I read yesterday, it's a pity that our foreign just not using AK-47. Their weapon, they are not using modern technology weapon. So it is really bad. How did you want them to face the criminals? And those bandits, they hide inside the forest. That is to expose their life to dangers. Despite our governors, they are collecting security votes. That's people, they can't use it to purchase sophisticated weapon because constitution is not allowed, except patrol vehicle, drone, or area surveillance jet that they also want to procure. But I think Mr. President needs to consider that our governor also, they have the power to empower our security agency. That's why we are clamoring for state police since all these days. That's my own submission.
Thank you so much, Mr.
I already
Sheriff.
drop comment on the Facebook page as well.
Yes, we're definitely going to read your comments out as well.
The truth of the matter is that the state government is not making sense to me. If you want to do things like this, you don't go by putting things that are going to be visible in the sky.
How about we even look at, they said they did purchase the aircraft.
Okay. I have never seen
and
any
they
of them fly.
The So the question is,
now
how can we trust the state government to how can we even say, oh, please buy drones and bring the drones when the aircraft that we've procured
have not been
seen?
Like I said, I'm not a fan of the governor. That is quite obvious. And two things here. Number one, no logic in the fact that you are going to put visible aircraft in the sky. That's number one. Number two, let's now talk about transparency, integrity, and credibility. Where are even the aircraft? Whether they are going to work or not. Where are they? We're talking about 7.7 billion. That's a large amount of money. That's on one side. The person to blame here is actually the president. Because when it comes to security in this country, just one person is responsible, and that is the federal government, the president and commander-in-chief. And it's not something that just started. These are things that had actually been happening before you became president. So you had every information that you needed before you got into office. And unfortunately, things just keep degenerating. Many people are not aware, but something of similar pattern happened in Osun just 2 weeks ago, but it didn't make news that time. Some of us knew what happened. Since they are not reporting it in the dailies, we're also not going to talk about it. And now it has happened in Oyo. I am scared. That's just the truth of the matter. Because if we are not very careful, these people are going to follow exactly the same pattern that they have been following across the states that they have been to.
Let's take a call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, What's Radio.
Good morning to you, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, my name is Salami. I'm calling from. Good morning, Mr. Lekon.
You're welcome.
Morning, sir.
All right, sir. God bless you always. You see, Yobama will say, meaning that it's unfolding, it's loading, honestly speaking. And what am I saying in essence is the attack on the national park yesterday in Oyo. That means the fear over time of some people are now coming to reality. And what is the fear? that Yoruba land we used to think is safe, is now becoming vulnerable. And I remember in December, immediately after Donald Trump strike in the north, that I called on the Southwest governors to be very, very proactive because definitely these terrorists have nowhere to go other than migrate to other parts of the country where they think there is less concentration of the military. And it's happening. I'm scared, just like Mr. Lekon said, because by the time Oyo 2 has become There are both, just like Kwara State is fast becoming, and Ekiti State, definitely the entire Southwest is already captured. May God not let that happen. Now, what I want to say is that to call on Governor Seyi Makinde, you cannot do it alone, riding around his fellow Southwest governors to see what can be done as a matter of urgency. We cannot afford to fall to this insurgency in Southwest. If Southwest should fall into the hands of insurgents or banditry, Nigeria is finished. May God not let that happen.
Amen.
Good morning.
Thank you so much, Mr. Salami. And I will say that we're not fear-mongering. We're only calling the attention of the right authorities to what is happening. Because fear-mongering is different, but calling the attention of the right authorities...
Is the right thing to do at this particular point.
Yes, because you know how they say to be forearmed. At this point, it has passed to be forewarned. But at least let's be armed. If we're not forearmed, this has happened. Let's take steps to ensure that it doesn't happen again.
The truth of the matter is that I slightly disagree with Mr. Salami. There is nothing going by the current framework in the country. There is nothing all the state governors in this country can do.
Now we know that the Southwest governors, they've been meeting. So the question is, what are they
have been meeting to eat amala. That's just the truth of the matter. When it comes to security, they've only been eating to eat amala because there is nothing they can do. They cannot buy AK-47. They can't even. Most of them cannot even buy night goggles.
So are you saying that even the Amotekun we have in the Southwest is useless?
When it comes to terrorism and banditry, madam, they are totally, I don't want to use that word, but that is what it is. Because if you want to fight someone, you must at least match what that person has, if not exceed what they have. These are guys who are going around with assault rifles, semi-automatic weapons. You cannot, even if you are 100, you cannot confront one person with an assault rifle. So at this particular point in time, the president needs to do either of two things. Number one is to sit up. Number two is to redraft the constitution in a way that will permit state governors to buy assault rifles. No. And let me now say something for you to know that these people are extremely smart. They know exactly what they are doing. The local government they attacked is a local government that is actually around a junction that crisscrosses 3 states. It's a stone's throw from Kwara State, from Osun State, and of course it happened in Oyo State. 3 states. If you are coming from Ejigbo into Oyo, there is no way you're not going to pass through a local government. Ajawa, Oduoba. If you want to go through Oyo town, you'll have to go through a local government, Ola and likes. These guys know exactly what they are doing. They are telling us that they can breeze in and breeze out. From where they are, they can go to Osun, they can go to Oyo, and they can do whatever they want to do. See, I'm a very practical person. I will not blame Seyi Makinde here. The blame I have for Seyi Makinde is that he bought 2 aircraft that are going to be useless. 7.7 billion.
That we've not seen yet.
And that we have not seen yet. That's number one. But in terms of practically fixing what is on the ground, it is the president that has that duty. See, the pattern is that at the end of the day, they are going to bypass the state capital. They will surround every other city apart from the state capital.
As we have seen in the north.
In other states. Kwara State, Kwara North, gone. Kwara South, gone. The only place that is safe in Kwara State right is Kwara Central, Ilorin. They are going to bypass Ibadan. But cover all of that. I mean, I don't want that to happen because even the trauma of that, experiencing that.
Nobody obviously wants that to happen.
But if we are not proactive, if we do not do what we should do at the right time, the people in Sokoto, they didn't offend God.
Now the question I also have, another question I have, Mr. Sani, is that the last time the president talked tough about, waging war against terror, he said that the DSS should employ forest guards. Now, these forest guards we have here, you've just told us that they don't have sophisticated weapons.
They do not.
So does it mean that the 7,000 forest guards who also graduated who graduated recently, they're also not going to be carrying sophisticated weapons?
The farthest they can go is pump action, which is of no effect when you're talking about AK-47. It is totally of no effect because the range, let me make a simple analysis here. The effective range of a shotgun, pump action is between 25 meters and 50 meters. For an assault rifle, the least of them, we're talking about range, is 400 meters. So we're talking about 8 times more of the distance that pump action can cover. That is number one. Number two, if you release if you shoot using a shotgun, you will have to reload before you can fire again. For an AK-47,
the time you're reloading,
the deed has been done already. That is just it. You cannot compare the two. It's like motorcycle, not even bicycle, and a Ferrari. Yes, the two of them can take you from one place to the other, but you can't just compare how sweet they do transportation business for you. That is it. And finally, as Nigerians, we all need to be very, very, very loud at this particular point in time.
That's what I was going to ask that. What then can the citizens do? We have these conversations on social media. What can we do that is a step away from having these conversations on social media?
In all seriousness, I am very serious right now. We need to start mobilizing ourselves by going to the houses of our representatives, senators, House of Reps members, House of Assembly members, governors, everybody. Enact state police at this particular point in time. Because I'm not saying that state police is a very surefire way to get out of this, but at least it is going to create a scenario where we will have more people. It gives the opportunity
to fight back.
Yes, we will have more people who are going to be able to match these guys. Bandits don't want to die. Like I've always said, we have all sorts of problems in Nigeria. There are people who are doing terrorism, ideology backed terrorism in the Northeast. Those ones are the most difficult to deal with, in my opinion, because they are prepared to die. A bandit is not interested in dying. He only wants to make money. The reason why they are killing people is to register their presence. I am around. I am dangerous. I am deadly. Don't test me. But if they know that there are people who have at least what they have in their hands, they would think about it before going out because they don't want to die. So that is why I'm saying that the federal government needs to do the needful right now. Let us arm people using sophisticated weapons, bulletproof vests and all of that. If we do not have that, I'm not cursing, but you and I know what is going to happen at the end of the day.
And we honestly hope and pray that it doesn't happen. We need to take these conversations off social media. Yes, speak more on social media, but also have open dialogue. The elections are coming.
Go to their houses.
And our representatives. We're not going to mobilize anybody to go to anyone's private property. We don't want to encourage people to trespass. No. However, these people are representing us. And when they wanted our votes,
they came to our houses.
They found ways to locate us. So we should also find ways
to locate them,
to bring them down, so that we can have dialogues. We're not going to encourage anyone to trespass.
I get your point, madam. I get your point, madam. But let me say something. If you are holding a public office, you are not a private citizen.
But their houses is a private property. We don't want to encourage trespassing. Let's close that chapter. We're wrapping up very soon. But the UN has called on the Nigerian government to take urgent and decisive action to protect civilians and educational institutions following a fresh wave of violent attacks in Niger State and neighboring areas that left dozens dead and several others abducted. We don't want schools to be closed. We don't want schools to be shut. Our children have a right to education. People have a right to worship in wherever they choose to worship. And so we're calling on the federal government, because at this point, security remains federal. We're calling on the federal government to do what it's supposed to do. And like Mr. Sani has said, state policing seems to at least be a way out, so that the states that are really, so then we can begin to know, are governors
Mr.
really
Governor,
interested?
what are you doing?
Yes, are they, because they're closer to us than the federal government.
Because the truth of the matter is that you cannot blame any governor right now. You cannot blame someone who does not have what it takes to fight someone or something. Right now, they are not in the list to empowered to fight security issues.
Very true. So even if they want to,
they cannot.
So that our governors can stop telling us that they want to, we
but
can then see them
hindered.
taking action or not taking action. Thank you so much for joining me on the show, Mr. Sani.
Quickly,
I'll take a look at some of the comments that we have on our Facebook fan page. We have a couple of comments. Adekunle Ojo Christina says, I'll translate to English, says, good morning from Oluyole, but good morning to you too. Alaba Yusuf, thank you so much. We see your comments. Lamon Sherry says, good morning and kudos to everyone in the studio. Some months ago, federal government promised to recruit more forest guards to protect our forest reserves. Till now, nothing to show for it. I will urge your state government to mobilize Amotekun Corps to all forests across the state and fight against those gunmen, because security is local, as it should be local. That's it on the show this morning. The sports crew is here, ready to give you the latest stories in the world of sports. My name is Bolanle Oduekun-Ayoola, and this has been Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.